Decoded.
Welcome back to Book Decoded. We crack open a new book and serve up the juiciest bits. Today we're going to be talking about breathing.
Breathing.
Yeah, breathing. We're diving into The Breathing Revolution by Yolanda Barker. This one's got me thinking differently about something we do like thousands of times a day without even noticing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think about breathing. It just kind of happens.
Right. But Barker kicks things off with this like really profound story she had during meditation, where she suddenly became aware of her breath in like this whole new way.
Okay.
She describes it as like a hidden sense, like unlocking a door to a deeper level of consciousness.
That's pretty interesting.
I don't know about you, but that definitely got my attention.
Yeah, I can see why. It's like we go through life like on autopilot and we kind of miss out on a lot of the richness of our present experience.
Exactly. And that's what I think is so eye-opening about this book.
Yeah.
You know, she blends ancient wisdom with like modern science to show how powerful conscious breathing can be. You know, it's not just about getting air into our lungs. It's about tapping into this like source of energy and vitality that can impact like both our mental and physical health.
So is this like a self-help book?
Yeah, kind of. But it's also like really grounded in science.
Yeah.
Like one of the first things that jumped out at me was the story of Marcus.
Marcus.
Yeah, he's this guy who loses his job and understandably feels all that anxiety and stress. You know, that comes with big life change.
Yeah, for sure.
But instead of like totally spiraling, he uses this simple breathing technique to calm down.
Oh, interesting. Like what kind of technique?
Well, the trick is lengthening his exhale.
Oh, okay.
So the book also makes this point about how most of us aren't breathing efficiently, like even those of us who meditate or do yoga.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
It's like we're constantly in this state of shallow breathing or even holding our breath without realizing it.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I definitely catch myself, holding my breath sometimes when I'm stressed or something.
Right. It really made me like stop and pay attention to how I breathe.
It makes you think.
And the book goes even further. It dives into this concept of breath in yoga and breath work.
Okay.
Where it's not just about the physical act of like inhaling and exhaling.
Right.
But it's about this whole cascade of reactions happening in our bodies,
Yeah.
our minds and emotions with each breath.
Okay.
Like our whole being is breathing, not just our lungs.
So like more than just air.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really got me thinking was like this idea of the body breathing us rather than us consciously breathing.
Whoa, that's kind of trippy.
Right. Like breathing is this intelligent life force that flows through us and like keeps us alive and connected to something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, that's a cool way to think about it. It's like we don't even have to try,
Yeah.
it just happens.
Exactly.
So you ready to explore some of those techniques Barker shares?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Where do we begin?
Well, one of the like simplest but most effective techniques is she calls it fully natural breathing.
Fully natural breathing.
Yeah, it's all about like visualizing the diaphragm moving down as you inhale
Right.
and up as you exhale.
Visualization. Okay. That's interesting.
It's like we're kind of mentally guiding our breath to flow more efficiently, And the more we practice it, the more natural it becomes.
It's like we're retraining our bodies to breathe the way they were like designed. So what else does the book suggest?
Well, remember how we talked about mouth breathing and anxiety?
Yeah.
She has this really interesting suggestion for those who want to like make the switch to nose breathing.
Okay.
She recommends putting a small piece of tape over your mouth at night.
Tape? Really? Isn't that a bit extreme?
It might sound strange, but it actually makes sense.
Okay.
When we sleep, we often just go back to mouth breathing without even realizing it.
Yeah.
So the tape acts as like a gentle reminder to keep our mouths closed and breathe through our noses.
Okay. I'm willing to give it a try, especially if it can help with anxiety. I'm curious about what the book says about stress and breathing.
Yeah.
It seems like we touched on that earlier.
That's a huge part of like the whole breathing revolution idea.
Yeah.
She goes deep into the science behind how our breath can actually influence our stress levels.
Okay.
When we're stressed, we tend to breathe more quickly and shallowly.
Right. It's like our bodies are preparing for that,
Yeah.
like fight or flight response.
Exactly. And this rapid, shallow breathing sends signals to our brain that we're in danger.
Right.
Which, keeps the stress response going.
Ah, okay.
But here's the fascinating part. By consciously slowing down our breath, we can actually calm down our nervous system.
So it's like a two-way street.
Yeah.
Like our breathing affects our stress levels, But we can also use our breath to manage stress.
Precisely. And the book explains the science behind it.
Okay.
Slow breathing stimulates what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and relaxation.
Got it.
It's like hitting the brakes on the stress response.
I'm starting to see how revolutionary this all is.
Yeah.
Like we have this built-in stress management tool
Yeah.
that we've totally forgotten how to use.
And the book goes on to explain the role of this fascinating part of our brain.
Okay.
It's called the pre-Betzinger complex.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It is. So think of it as like the conductor of your breath, like setting the tempo and rhythm.
Yeah.
Researchers have discovered that when we breathe slowly, this complex, it sends calming signals to other parts of the brain, including a part called the locus coeruleus.
The locus coeruleus.
Yeah, it's involved in arousal and anxiety.
So when we breathe slowly, it's like we're sending a message to our brain to chill out.
Exactly. It's a powerful example of how the mind and body are interconnected and how something as simple as just slowing down your breathing can have this huge impact on your mental and emotional state.
This is all so fascinating. I'm starting to see my breath in a whole new light.
Good.
What else does Barker talk about in terms of breathing techniques?
So she introduces a few techniques that are designed for different purposes.
Okay.
For example, there's energizing breath, which is good for when you need a boost of energy.
Okay.
Or feeling sluggish. It involves a specific breathing pattern where you inhale for a count of 3, hold your breath for a count of 12, and exhale for a count of 6.
Hold for 12 seconds.
Oh.
That sounds intense.
It can be, so it's important to listen to your body. Don't push yourself too hard.
Right. Good.
But the idea is that this extended breath hold helps increase energy and alertness.
Oh, okay.
But the book does caution against using this technique if you have high blood pressure or heart conditions.
Good to know. So what about a technique for relaxation? I'm guessing there's something for that too.
Of course. So she talks about this thing called box breathing, which is a technique used by Navy SEALs.
Navy SEALs? Wow, that sounds serious.
It's actually a surprisingly simple technique. You inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4, exhale for 4,
Okay.
and then hold your breath again for 4.
So it's like creating a square with your breath.
Exactly. And this rhythmic breathing pattern helps regulate the nervous system and promote a sense of calm and clarity.
I can see how that'd be helpful in high stress situations, probably everyday life too. What about for sleep? I'm always looking for ways to improve my sleep quality.
Well, Barker's got you covered. She shares a technique called appropriately enough breath for sleep.
Breath for sleep. Okay.
It's all about lengthening your exhale and pausing at the end of each breath.
That sounds similar to the technique Marcus used.
It is. And the book explains that this extended exhale helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, signaling to your body that it's time to rest and relax.
Right.
And that gentle pause at the end of the breath just helps deepen that sense of relaxation.
These techniques are so simple but so powerful.
They are.
It's like we're tapping into this hidden potential within ourselves just by paying attention to our breath.
That's the beauty of it. Barker emphasizes that consistency is key, It's not about being perfect. It's about making breathwork a regular part of your life, even if it's just a few minutes each day.
It's like building a foundation of mindful breathing that can support us in every aspect of our lives. So beyond these techniques, what else does the book explore?
Well, one of the things that really stood out to me was the connection between breathing and our emotional well-being.
Okay.
Barker talks about how we often hold emotional tension in our bodies, and this can manifest in our breathing patterns.
So our emotions can actually affect how we breathe.
Absolutely. If we're feeling anxious, we might notice that our breath is shallow and rapid, or if we're holding on to sadness, we might find ourselves sighing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. It's like our breath is this mirror reflecting our inner state.
Exactly. And Barker suggests that by, becoming more aware of our breath, we can start to understand and process our emotions more effectively.
Okay.
She even provides specific breathing exercises to help us release emotional blockages and cultivate a greater sense of emotional freedom.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It's like our breath can be a pathway to emotional healing.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And she goes on to talk about how breathwork can help us develop a stronger mind-body connection.
That's a term I hear a lot. But what does it actually mean?
It's essentially about like becoming more aware of the sensations in our bodies
Okay,
and how those sensations relate to our thoughts and emotions. And Barker argues that breathing is a powerful tool for cultivating that awareness.
I see. So when we focus on our breath, we're automatically bringing our attention inwards to the present moment.
Yeah.
And that can help us become more in tune with what's happening in our bodies.
Exactly. And when we're more attuned to our bodies, we're better able to like recognize the early signs of stress and tension,
Hmm.
which gives us an opportunity to respond to those sensations with more awareness rather than letting them just like build up and overwhelm us.
So it's like we're taking back control of our nervous system rather than letting our emotions just run the show.
You got it.
Yeah.
And Barker provides several exercises to help us strengthen that mind-body connection,
Okay.
including something called heartbeat breathing.
Heartbeat breathing. That sounds interesting.
It's a technique that involves syncing your breath with your heartbeat. It's designed to help us tune in to the subtle rhythms of our bodies
Okay.
and cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness.
Okay, I'm definitely going to have to try that one.
Yeah.
It sounds like a really beautiful way to connect with yourself on a deeper level. So we've talked about a lot of different techniques and concepts.
Mm.
One of the things that really stuck with me from the breathing revolution was this idea that breath work isn't just about the techniques themselves.
Yeah.
It's about like cultivating a deeper awareness of our breath in everyday life.
I love that. It's like we can bring that mindfulness to like literally every breath we take.
Hmm. Whether we're walking, working, or just sitting in stillness.
Yeah.
You know, it's about becoming more attuned to the subtle rhythms of our breath and noticing how it changes in different situations.
And then we can use that awareness to like make conscious choices about how we breathe to support our well-being.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the breathing revolution, what final thoughts would you like to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important message is that like breath work is accessible to everyone. You don't have to be, a yogi or a meditation master to benefit from it.
Right.
Even a few minutes of conscious breathing each day can make a huge difference.
It's like this incredible gift we've been given. We just have to remember to use it.
And if you're looking for like a comprehensive guide to, understanding and harnessing the power of the breath,
Yeah.
I highly recommend checking out The Breathing Revolution by Yolanda Barker. It's packed with insights and like techniques and inspiration to help you, breathe more fully and live more vibrantly.
Couldn't agree more. It's been an absolute pleasure exploring this book with you, and I'm already feeling like more mindful of my breath just from our conversation.
Me too. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey into the fascinating world of breath work. Until next time, keep breathing and keep exploring.